Hi there, welcome to a Bonzolian video. Did you know I was in the June edition of Modern Drummer? Yes sirree. Alright, so here's the deal. I've been promising this since the dawn of time. I have a 6.5x14 late model Ludwig SUPRAPHONIC that I'm going to reverse pimp out to 1970 specs, okay? I'm going to take the gaskets off, I'm going to swap the 2.3 hoops out for 1.6, and I'm going to drill and install a tone control, okay? Stand by. All my stuff is behind the machinery. All right. By the way, if you haven't heard or seen PFOZ, it's People's Front of Zeppelin, the best Zeppelin live channel and band that has ever walked the face of the earth. All right, we'll get more on that later. So here is my SUPRAPHONIC 6.5x14. And where's the frickin' here? Okay, so it looks like a 60s, but that's a modern badge. I love the way that looks on there. It'd be nice if the grommet was gold to match the brass of the badge. You can see that. But as you can see, there's not a tone control on here. So what I'm going to do, and I'll edit it out, but this is a Ludwig standard. This is actually my prototype Ludwig standard with the sound cone I was telling you about. So I'm going to just measure the holes. Alright, so I'm just going to remove this head. Use 2 drum keys is always good. Everybody thinks they invented this. And they have, because if they've never seen it before and they do it, they have invented it. But other people might have been doing it first, I don't know. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm just taking this head off. I will edit this out for time. Okay? Shakes the clown. I hope everybody's okay on a day like this. It's a wonderful October day here in Chicago land. Alright, so alright, I'll edit this out. I like to use my fingers. A little faster. Tick tock, time goes by. Tick tock, tick. Extra bonus if you know what play that's from. Tick tock, time goes by. Come on, huh? Tick tock, time. All right. Okay. 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 All right. Yes. So. Oh, no, there's the drill. Here's my sound cone $1 billion prototype. As you can see, but what I'm going to do, and I have this out here now so I can just measure, because I used to know the measurements of this, but I don't. It's been a while since I put a tone control. I taped the lugs on. The lugs, right? So here's the holes, right? Now this one's drilled for the standard old school version where the rod went through the top and the screw went through the bottom. Okay, so I'm just going to measure that. Nowadays, in the past, probably almost 40 years now, the rod goes through the bottom and the screw goes through the top, which I think actually physically makes more sense, but it just doesn't maybe look quite as hip as us older people who are so used to seeing the screw on the bottom. All right, so I'm going to measure this with my standard issue tape measure. I'm going to keep it in inch. I got to get my glasses for the love of God. Stand by. All right. 7.9. Hope the wind does not knock over my phone because that would suck horrifically. Here's a screwdriver which we need. All right. So I'm just going to get a measurement in imperial bill. The top hole. Hang on, I'm having a hell of a time here. It's a long story, i.e. I can't see. All right. The top hole is 1 7/16. Okay, I'm dead serious. 1 17/16. Now I'm assuming that the hole, hang on. All right, so I almost sneezed there. And the bottom hole is a flat 2 inches. So 1 17/16 and 2 inches. I'm certain they're the same because I've done this before. All right. So what we do now, we get that out of the way, and now we take the head and put my Supra, which I lazily left a Remo Weather King coated controlled sound batter on. Hang on. So I hope everybody's doing well. Remember the old adage, I'm putting a coated Emperor on your Supra. It's always recommended to put a coated Emperor. Remember, there's also a vintage Emperor. So there's a coated vintage Emperor that is thicker than the regular run-of-the-mill Emperor, which I do believe is a 7.5, and the other one's a 5. I think it's a 7.5 and a 5. Did I have that right? You look right now at the Remo website. Just type in, you know, the Emperor, the vintage Emperor is a little thicker. I think it's 12.5 mil, where the standard issue Emperor might be 12. I forget. Remember, my brain is not what it used to be. All right. Well, I wish I had something round out here, like another Tom-Tom. Or a paint can or something where you can park this. You know, it sets right on. Oh, I can put it right on this guy. All right? All right. Okay. All right. So, got that there. So this is the inside of my 6.5x14 late model Supra. Let's see if there's a date. There's not. Now you can see a little bit of the copper plate. All right, so here we go. So I want to put, here it is, okay? You see this? I want to put, the tone control is typically here, okay? Between where the butt plate is and the badge. That's typically on any Ludwig 10 lug drum since probably 1960 where it's located, okay? But prior to that, Ludwig on the Super Ludwigs, the early original Super Ludwigs, used to have the tone control here. Okay, that's where I'm going to put it because I like it there. Okay, so I'm just moving it from here over to here because I just like to reach it with my right hand. There's a twister coming. I sure hope not. All right, so that's it. Oh, and I also too, I'm going to have to take the lugs off, so I'm going to need another apparatus to do that. But anyway, hang on. So you understand? So in a 10 lug Ludwig drum, here's the butt plate. Tone control occurs between the badge and the butt plate, right here. That's typically where it's gone for the last 60 years. But again, in there's been more than one, probably at least, I'd swear, 3 or 4 Super Ludwigs, I used to find them years ago, that were really old, and there'd be the holes drilled here, and the tone control, the holes drilled here, and then the tone control here. But you could tell that the shell was chromed after it was drilled. So they were changing it over. All right. So what I need I need another tool. I'll be right back. Okay, I had to go get a pliers because, as I said before, I don't know if I said it, well, I did say it before, but the video stopped. It was an Amber Alert that cut my videotaping. What I recommend doing when I took the lugs off, okay? I took the lugs and the gaskets off. I was saying that gaskets came around, I think mostly by Pearl in the early mid-90s when they used to put the gaskets on. In my opinion, it was just to differentiate their upper lines from their lower lines. If you really think about a gasket, especially on a metal drum, it hinders the ring. You know what I mean? You want the metal-to-metal contact so it behaves like a whole membrane. You don't want it interrupted by this, because this chokes it, in my opinion. Here are the gaskets. They're off. Again, I took it off, but the Amber Alert cut me off. You know, but hopefully they find somebody who's missing. In Merrillville, Indiana. And I'm looking at that Amber. Okay, so I'm just tightening up. Remember I said, it's a good idea, whenever you have your drum open, whenever you have your drum open, just make sure your shite is tight. Make sure everything is tight, which it is, all right? So all I have on here now is my P83. I went and I put a P83 on here, okay? This is an early 70s. It's a Ludwig standard P83. You can see how it says this is the modern Ludwig versus this, you know, strip. Exact same throw though. I love them. I wish somebody, Ludwig or C. Maxwell, would bring back that. All right, what am I going to do? Oh, I'm just going to put the lugs back on. So I took the gaskets off, okay? I'm just going to put these back on. Again, I got to be real careful here because if one of these falls and goes through the deck, slats, I'm doomed. So this is going to take forever because I can't see it. All right, here we go. So anyway, I get them on by hand first, like I put the rods on. I think it's going to rain too. Certainly get that. There's a certain darkness level that comes right before it rains, and I think we are at that threshold. So if it rains, I won't be happy. Wait, I need to look. Oh wait, I went in to get a chamois. I went in to get a chamois. Did I go in to get a Shamington? Well, you can get a chamois. I'm not. You know what I mean? I like mine old school. You know what I mean? If you look at pictures of Bonham's when he's playing it, that thing is all fucked up. Shit, no, I'm just gonna. I don't want to shine mine up. I want to leave it just the way it is. So now what'll happen is the Ludwig hoops are, you know, a lot of people might think that some splay might happen here, where the rod sort of goes in toward the shell like this, sort of conically, because the hoops are different. The 2.3 compensate for the lug. But what I'm doing is I'm not putting the original hoops back on. In my opinion, if I were to put the original hoops back on, there would be, I think, some pretty serious splay of the rods. But since I'm putting on the 1.6 hoops that I bought from DFD, Drum Factory Direct, I am not affiliated with Drum Factory Direct, but that's where I bought these. Oops. Testing. PFOZ was kicking butt and taking names. George, Yvonne, Pete, and Ty are killing it. I think some live shows will be coming up. PFOZ, People's Front of Zeppelin, on YouTube, on the internet. People's Front of Zeppelin. Not to be confused with the Zeppelin People's Front, or the Front of Zeppelin, founded by the people in favor of all things Zeppelindom. Hang on. My back starts to hurt when I do this. I'm kind of perpetually sort of squatting over a little. So the minute I'm done, it's wise actually to take a break. If you're old like me, if you're 52 and your back gets a little funky, it's a good idea to stretch out a little. Like Jimmy Page with his double neck, how he'd go all the way back. Can you see that? I don't know how he did it. It was pretty rubbery. All right. So, tick tock. Oh, that sucked. That almost went true to crack. Chicago style. True to crack. That almost went true to crack. Give me $5. $5. Vito and Nick's. Nick and Vito's. Vito and Nick's. On Pulaski, I think, down by 63rd Street. If you're ever in Chicago, go to Vito and Nick's. Nick and Vito's. I think they officially call it Nick and Vito's. But I like to call it Vito and Nick's. There's a couple of my die-hard Chicago pals. Good pizza. Yes, sir. And there's also a place down there on Roberts Road at just north of 95th Street called The Pit, which is delicious. That's a barbecue mecca. Oh, I love The Pit. Oh. Okay, now I'm just getting on the second washer. I really want to get this on because I have a feeling it might drizzle just a bit. So again, what I've been doing here is just I took the lugs off because I wanted these gaskets, these rubber gaskets off. If somebody wants those, I'll put them on eBay. Maybe somebody wants them. There might be people that, want them. So I'm going to put them on if somebody wants them. Come on. I've been selling on eBay. My username is Kingish, Kingish. Hang on. I'm almost done. Tick tock, tick tock. Time goes by. If you didn't guess it, it was the pajama game. My sister was in the pajama game back in 1978. I remember that well. You gotta remember, 1978 is only 19 years away from the 50s. I think about that now. I think of time relative. Think of relative time. Like I remember my friend, me and Deirdre, the late Deirdre, whom was a sweetheart, went over to Sears Pharmacy and got some malt scrapey thingies with the wooden thing, and you scrape it off, and it was so delicious. And I remember sitting there on that May day. I just left 6th grade. We went on a field trip to the Enchanted Forest. Anyways, the first day of that summer, I remember us sitting there. And I think back, and that's 40 years ago. That is 40 years ago. I can't believe it. I started my freshman year in high school 38 years ago. Can you believe that? I cannot. I, however, cannot. You are allowed to talk, but not today. All right, so here we go. Come on now. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Tick-tock. Okay, here we go. So now I'm getting them all on. You can see the washers. I'm getting them just finger tight, okay? Finger tight. Then I'm going to go around with my wrench, my hex wrench thing. Just want to do this like this, okay? Kind of finger tight. All right, there we are. So now I'm going to torque them on. Not like crazy, but you know, you just know what you feel. Okay? Now I put the lugs back on before I did the drilling because I want the lugs on to help stabilize the shell against the wood floor of this deck. You know what I mean? I want essentially 2 of the lugs will act as legs to hold the shell up. Okay. Yes. Okay. I'm just going to go around one more time, just to make certain. One more time, just to make certain. One more time, just to make one more to make certain. All right. All right. Looking good. Looking good. It still hasn't rained on me yet. Maybe it won't. I know it's humid though. This is one of those days it's like 78, but the dew point is probably 77.3. So I gotta get me some water or something. Okay, so here we go. All right. Oh, you know, I should have hit the shelf to get the clang note. But I can hear it here. Shoot, that's what I meant to do. Usually I keep it minor. Or I can keep the top. That's what I might do. Whatever that note is. Underneath is Is that an A or D? I don't know. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put. Remember I talked before about the tone control. Ludwig, here's the badge, here's the butt plate. Ludwig, for the last 50 years or so, 51 to 52 years, has put it in this panel between the badge and the tone control. I'm going to put it between, on the other side, so skipping 2, just because I like the tone, that's where I like the tone control. I'm just going to put it that way. That's just where I like it. So see how I can rest it like this on the lugs? So what I do is I take some of my fancy painter's tape, just in case. Oh my God, I hope I remember the measurements. What were the measurements I said? What did I say? I said 2 in for the bottom and 1 and something eighths. Oh, for crying out loud. It was 1 and Oh my God. Rewind the tape. Oh, for crying out loud. Let me see what we got. I'll just get the measurement again. This is why I'm a skull. Any of these pure sound, yeah, they're great. They're kind of expensive. I don't dig them that much. Not a huge copper guy. Although I appreciate its place in the. Hang on a second. Just double checking here. One and my glasses. And the days go by, water flowing underground. What did I do with the glasses? Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Word is on me and one of the moon. There's water at the bottom of the ocean. Under the water, carry the water. But the moon, 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 and okay, so frick. Hang on, you know what? I just want to make sure. So I said I got two. It is definitely 2 to the bottom hole, straight 2 from the edge. But here we're looking at. Let's see, 1, 2, 4. Oh, 1.5. 1.5. 1.5. Yeah, 1.5. 1.5 and 2. Sorry, I don't know. So what I'm going to do, 1.5 and 2. 1.5 and then down to 2. Hopefully that's what I said in the first video. All right, so what I'm going to do is let me make that measurement. I'm just going to go, and I eyeball this. You know what? Because I just do. I eyeball it. To me, it's just the way I do it. I can look with my own. What I do is I line the tape so it looks completely perfect, and I slide it over a little to the right. Silence. And I put it here. 1.5. And then 2. Oh, I messed up. Hang on. Shit. Got him. 1.5 and 2. 1.5 and 2. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my drill bit. Testing. I'm going to use the wood one. It's just what I do anyway. At the very least to start it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take what I have here. And I forgot. It's just been a while since I've done. Just run it through the hole, see what I got. This 3/16. You know what I'm going to do though? What do I do with the tone control? Oh, did I not bring the tone control out? I'm using a modern tone control just because you can still buy those, and I figure for Ludwig's sake, recording still. That's what we do. Hang on. All right, if you're still there watching, I have a new drum kit coming. I sold my Silver Sparkle classic maple that had the center imperials. So I'm essentially trading over. Oh yeah, there it is. I'm trading over. Don't fall. Don't fall, screw. Right. Trading over Ludwig New Sonic. I'm getting another Ludwig New Sonic kit because I love them. Getting a 24, 13, 16 Pro beat. All right, so what I'm using here is I just bought this from Ludwig. Don't you see that? Here's it, honest to God. Now I have some old vintage ones here, but I just figure just for everybody's sake, if you don't have an old vintage, you don't feel like paying up the wazoo on eBay. Ludwig still sells these tone controls. It's a it's a P40662. Here it is. By the way, they also sell the double tom brackets that they've been using for the last 57 years. They sell the original floor tom legs, 23-inch, that have the classic 70s. They still sell that stuff. You don't have to pay up the wazoo on eBay for it. Okay. I'm just gonna, to park, this is the nut that holds it on. I'm just gonna put that there. So I'm gonna drill now, okay? I'm gonna drill now, drill now, drill now, drill now. drill now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm taking this off. You notice what Ludwig used to do on these tone controls is after they put it on, they crimp the very end here, so if you got to the end, it wouldn't fall off. But you know, the fact of the matter is, you can, if you just forcefully, with a couple of channel locks, you can force through. You get it off, you just keep unscrewing. It feels like it won't unscrew, but you keep doing it, and that straightens out to normal burr. All right, so what I'm going to do, put that in there. Okay, so I'm just double checking the thickness. Okay, remember, so this one is designed to go in the bottom hole. So my bottom hole is going to be, let me double check that. You know what I got to do? My 3/16 will work, but I think I'm going to get my boss stitch. You friggin' boss stitch. Oh, you freaking. All right. Time out. Time out. Son of a bitch. Oh, you bastardo. All right. Okay, use the. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Just sit there for the love of God. All right. That freaked me out. All right, back to normal. Back to, let's rewind to sanity. To sanity. Yeah, okay, so what was I saying? So I want to make sure that the girth of this baby, my boss stitch, blah, blah, blah. What I'm going to do is let me take, just double checking the hole here. Okay, 3/16. I'm going to try going 7/32, just in case. No, it's, you know what it is? It's the inner, it's the, you know, I'll just use the 3/16. But I'm going to use the 3/16 on this guy because it's older, and I might as well use it instead of, you know, I think this might be the one for wood. I don't care. So what I'm going to do, here we go. So you put that baby on there. Put that baby on there. Put that baby on there. I'm sweating profusely. All right, so tighten it well. I'm going to tighten it up. Here's the People's Front of Zeppelin, remember? Oh, I forgot our pal here on YouTube. Craig Flowers has a channel. He's been putting stuff on. So what I do is I just literally set this down on the floor. Okay, the bottle too low. Hang on. Wrap it in there. Okay. So I'm just setting it on. These two lugs will hold it up like a bass drum. Like if you're looking at a bass drum, the bass drum lug, set it straight down. I'm going to drill straight down. Okay, so I'm going to drill the bottom hole 3/16. Okay, let me just do that real fast. I got to do this before it rains. Okay. All right, hang on. All right, here we go. There it is. So you'll see little globules of aluminum and chrome. I just go over here. There it goes. Now I'm going to get a thinner gauge for the screw. Let me double check the screw. Wait a minute. What happened to this? What happened to the screw? Did it fall during the chaos of the hoops getting knocked over? Oh no. I have some more in the house. But I would really like to find it. Oh man. Ew. Hang on. We're looking. We're looking. We're looking. Oops. Ouch. 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 Right, come on now. Where did you go to? Hey, Vagoda. Where did you go to? Son of a... Son of... bitch. Come on now. God, I was moving along at such a good pace. Kinda, sorta. So I hope everyone's well. I got a good joke for you. What did the 0 say to the 8? Nice belt. Alright. I know it's here someplace. Does anybody remember? Can you rewind? Oh no, here it is. Yeah, rewind the tape. It's right here. Crying out loud. Alright. Yes, the bottom hole will take that. It will take that hole. So in our case now, on the old standard, the bottom hole would be the skinnier one. But on the modern one now, the bottom hole is the fatter one. So I'm going to make the one for the screw, and the modern one we're doing here is going to be the top hole. 5/32 is still too big. So we might go 9/64. Do I have a 9/64? But you know, you want to sometimes you want a little, room for 9/64. Yes, I have 9/64. Yeah. But you know what we're going to do? I'm going to use just, no, screw it. I'm going to be manly and do my 9/64. So it better line up perfectly. Still functioning. Alright, I'm putting this back up. 3/16 is back. Using 9/64 for my bostage. And get that in there. Skip. I've gone down a couple Sopranos wormholes, all the hits on Soprano. Poor Adriana. All right, here we go. All right, so here we go. 9/64. And in this case, I'm the bummer. The bottom's the thicker one on the new ones. Okay, so the bottom is thicker. 3/8. The top one, I'm doing 9/64. So I'm setting it down with the lugs, holding it as if it's. Let me just double check this straight. That looks good to me. All right, got that. Get the filings out. A little off kilter. I just got a little. You got to be careful. I just got a little shaving. Shite. I got a little shaving in my finger. That hurts. All right, we're taking off the blue tape. Okay. We're going to now put on. I'm going to install the guy. If I can, here it is. All right. So that goes through the bottom hole. That goes through the bottom hole. Again, it isn't quite as straight as I wanted it. I get from moving. See how fast I was moving? What I'm going to do, hang on. And now you won't have to do this. You can make sure, the best thing that I should have done was just draw a straight line through the 2 holes I did, but I'm so excited to get this done. That's the first time in my life I've ever not, on the first try, gotten that right. What I'm going to do is do this. I'm just going to widen it. I just widened it a teeny bit. Now I'm not going to... Now what's a good idea to do? Just pretend like you put a... I pretend like I put a straight line in the tape. Okay, just pretend like I did to keep it straight. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this piece of tape and I'm going to kiss the shell with it. Because I want to get those pieces of chrome and aluminum, which can give you a pretty good sliver out of the drum. Okay, so it's kind of like using this stuff, you know, the roll thingy when you clean the lint off your suit. All right. Okay, so I'm using that to sort of kiss it. Grab another globule right here. All right. Just getting the loose bits of aluminum. So what I'm going to do now is then go over here and just blow it off. Did it just fall out of my PFOZ shirt? Whoa. All right. So, let me put it on. Here it is. Remember, I put it on, instead of putting it in the panel between the badge and the butt plate, I put it just to the left of the butt plate. So I'm going to just install it. Put it on. Remember, that goes in. Slips right in. You get this guy. Remember, I'm putting, in this case, the knob is going to go through the bottom hole, okay? Remember, the knob goes through the bottom hole, and then you take this cylindrical thingy and you screw it on, okay? When it's in there. So, what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to put, let me put on the, let me put on this, I'm going to put the screw on first. You know, it's been so long since I've done this, I would usually instinctively know to put the screw on first. But it's been so long since I've done it. I'm going to put the screw on first. Okay, remember the screw goes in the top, in the neo modern Ludwig way. Then you take the screw or the nut, and you get it on. And there it is, it's on. So just kind of hand, for now I'm going to sort of hand tighten it. Okay, it's sort of, it's tight, but I will torque it down with the my wrench and the screwdriver. So now we then take this, remember you want that plastic washer on the outside, that baby goes right through, and you grab this little cylindrical thing here. So see what I did? Ouch. I got the little screw on top and the big knob on the bottom. So now I'm going to here put this cylindrical baby is going to screw on here, okay? It's just going to screw right on the edge, like I said, of the knob, okay? But you got to go through the hole of the black thingy. See, most people might know this, but believe it or not, a lot of people might not. All right, so. Okay. What the frick? Hang on. Hang on. Okay, now we got it. So now I screw it on. I screw it pretty good. Now I'm going to screw it until I see the pad come up. Okay, because that's the whole point of this. You want the pad to come up. Okay. Go. That's it. Alrighty. Alright, that's it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, you don't have to do this, but Lover used to do again. See how that's on there now? See how you can see it through the cylindrical thing? They would take like a pliers or something, and they would just crimp the end. Okay, they'd crimp it so if you kept unscrewing it wouldn't automatically fall off. And during a gig, then the cylindrical thingy falls and it's inside loose in the drum. Okay, so I'm going to do that just with my pliers for fun. Do a little bit of a, there it goes, a little bit of a crimp at the end of it. You don't have to do that. So now, well, look what we have. Here's my P83 70s version. Got my round knob tone control in the panel to the left of the butt plate, not in this one where it normally is. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the bottom head, hang on, I got to make absolutely sure I got all those little slivers out. Alright, so I'm going to get my hazy Ludwig. I do like the hazy, well they call it hazy, it's not really hazy. But this one's still good. I ran a check on it, so it's good to me. Okay. So line that baby up. Now what I'm getting here is I have, remember, the 1.6 hoops from DFD, Drum Factory Direct. Remember, I'm not affiliated, with Drum Factory Direct. However, this is, I think, the only place, at least I know of, where to buy the 1.6 hoops. You just get more of a ring. It's just, you can use the 2.3, you can. Remember back in BONHAM days, we're going for the BONHAM sound, they only had the 1.6. Okay, so how does this come off? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. All right, so we got that. Here it is. Okay. Now it's square versus the the rounded bit at the end. But actually, Ludwig, when they did the transition over from the chrome over brass hoops, there was a batch of chrome over brass hoops that had the square like this, and even some metal ones. Steel. So let me put this on. Okay, just put that baby right there. Remember, so I'm putting on a 1.6. Now I'm going to put on the rods. The rods. Remember, I'm keeping the modern rods. Okay, you know, if you want, you can go and find the original. So, but because we went back to the 1.6 hoops, see, Ludwig 2.3 hoops take in mind the gasket, the extra distance that the lug screw goes out with the gasket there. The 1.6 DFD ones do not, which is good. So when we take the gasket off, it'll line up. It won't be splay this way. It goes straight down. All right, now I just have to find the rest of the rods, because as you can see, I had an accident. Shit. Son of a buck. I did. Yes, I did. On this side, so I'm going to have to take one from my, no, one second, doesn't matter. I'm missing one of the washers after the fall there. Okay, so here we are, putting the tension rods back. I put the snare side on first, which is what I always do. Remember, so you finger tighten. 1, 2, 3. I need 3 more of these guys. Asto. Oh my God, hang on, I gotta get a top. I brought 2 of the bottoms out. I brought 2 of this 1.6 bottoms. I'm running to get that. Whatever happened to, just in case, because I don't believe in giving up and finding even the small part. But I might have to for time's sake. Oh, I'm missing, wait a minute. Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, I see, okay. So this is the, oh, I'm such a skull. Oh. I'm putting on the tension rods that were on the underside of this guy. Ha! All right, hang on, let me take this out. I just want this to be pure, the original. Pure, the original. Pure. I think I might have lost a couple of these babies. In the fall, the great fall of things. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these guys. These are the original now. All right, so now I'm going to put, these are the original off, meaning the original ones. How's that picture look? That picture look okay? Yeah, looks good. It looks weird. Anyway, so now these are the ones that I want to put back on the drum. Okay. So again, I'll put these babies in the hole and finger tighten them. Okay. For now, I'm just kind of getting them in. Okay. Yes. Putting this guy out of the way. Remember, this is my prototype sound focus cone, patented Terrence Keating. Patent number 7956A7439. The Chinese patent AKM 3974876. German patent 79487376. Real serious. All right, so here we go. All right, here we go. Excited. So what I do is you line it up. This is just basic. Just get them kind of finger tight. Not even finger tight. Just get them sort of touching the eyelets, okay? Because you might have to slightly move. I'm tightening it with my finger. You might have to just very slightly slide over the hoop just to line it up. You know what I mean? Make sure the eyelets are all, you know, lined up okay. Sorry. It still hasn't rained yet. See if it's lined up right. Okay. All right, so I'm going to grab my one drum key for now. I'm just going to do one. I just want to touch these guys to the. It really doesn't matter. As long because what I'm doing now is just making sure that the eyelets are even, right to left. So what I do when I tune a drum, and no matter what the drum is, make sure this is still whirring. This is still going. Yes, it is. I go like this, I push this down, and I just tighten until I see the wrinkle go away, okay? So what I'm going to do is right now the wrinkles are just simply away. Oh, hang on. When I took my finger off, there is another bit of a wrinkle here, which means you just want to get that wrinkle away. Okay. So now you can go around. What happens is you start to get a feeling. Your thumb goes here, see, like this, and your index finger, this one, goes here. To put index finger, thumb, and you get a feel there for if they're about the same. It's kind of an art. It's just a little bit of an art. And remember, oftentimes what'll happen is see how we have a 10 log here? Okay, 10 log, remember you're going every other one. Okay, so sometimes you'll find that every other one's tighter than the every other one that's a little looser. Okay, so I'm just going to get this about like so. Okay, that's the. So this one is tighter. So these ones and every other one seems to be tighter. So we go around on the other 5. And kind of just make sure that they feel the same tension. Okay. The other 5. All right, so we're gonna leave that for now. All right, now I'm gonna flip it over and put on the brand new coated Emperor. This is not a vintage. This is a regular coated, not the Diplomat. I have the Diplomat. That's a coated Diplomat. There it is. Coated Emperor. Okay. How does this look? Does it focus? Yeah. But what I have to do, unfortunately, then let me turn this baby back down so it's not touching. What I'm going to do, let me get the proper hoop, because I brought up a snare side. Hang on, be right back. All right. I'm uncellophaning the batter side. This is what I meant to bring up. They put cellophane, like like grippy stuff, which is kind of a hassle. All right. Well, maybe you should take your time. It's not right. Take my time. All right. Here it is. Okay. 1.6 mil batter hoop. Putting on the coated Emperor, and it's starting to rain. It's starting to rain. Hang on. Hang on. It's starting to rain. I feel like it's actually starting to rain. There. All right, anyway, just a couple drops. We're good for now. Might just be a couple drops. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is, what I typically do is I put the tone control. I face it if I have my throw off to my left, my 9 o'clock position, the butt plate to my 3. So usually what I do then is I put the Remo or the logo of the head at the 12 noon. That's what I do. Okay. All right, so it seems like it kind of stopped. I'm not going to panic, but I do have to take the rods out of the original 2.3 hoop. We got finger tight around. Finger tight around. Finger tight around. Tight. That does rain harder. Alright. Alright. So I'm putting the tension rods around. Just getting them in there a couple turns so they stay in there, because I think I don't want them to pop right out. If it hasn't started to rain full blast yet, it probably won't. That's something I've learned. Typically then the drops will stop falling. Of course, maybe a half 7 tornado might rip through the yard and take this. Okay, here we go. All right. This was a S-hoop thingy, like a slinger lindy, I don't know. We'll put it over there. Okay. All right. So, I got an extra screw. Turn my butt. Starting to come down a little harder. Drill. Drill. Here. Sorry, did I hit you? Are we still rolling? Are we still rolling? Yes. All right. I get my reading glasses off. Both my sets of snare wires. Both my sets of snare wires. My gaskets. Who knows? Maybe someone will buy those on the eBay. Got the gaskets, the tension rods, my screwdriver. I'm just going to move the drum for a minute. We're going to pick this up where we left off after the rain stops. God darn it. I love how Billy Bob Thornton says, God damn it. He goes, God damn it. God damn it. Oh, I need. Remember, this is the snare cord, the reissue late 50s to the late, probably even early 80s snare cord that Ludwig used. I actually got that from a company called Ludwig. Apparently no relation. You can believe. So I technically can say, get your Ludwig snare cord because I actually bought it at a place called Ludwig back in the day. All right. So let's just sit for a minute here. Oh, there's still a little washer in here I didn't use. All right, little guy. We'll clean up the garbage. Cleaning up the garbage. Cleaning up the garbage. Stand by. The camera's under the awning thing. All right. Is it still raining? I'll tell you. Yes. It's a nuisance slight drizzle. So here we're on the rain out. It's the rain out in Von Zollienville. We're getting rained out. Intermission. So hi there. Just waiting on the drizzle. Waiting for the drizzle to stop. You know what I'm saying? The drizzle to stop. So I hope everybody's been good. More videos on the way. Remember I said though that I had to make this video before I made any more videos. So I did. So that's this video. So what I'm going to do, where's my home? There's my phone is, I'm filming with my phone. So we're just going to sit this out. I hate to get my drum wet. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. So remember what I do. Remember on a 10 lug drum, you still go every other one like you would on an 8 lug, okay? Or 6 lug. Remember a 6 lug, if you go every other one, it's a triangle. It's like the Star of David on a 6 lug. Regular triangle, upside down triangle, okay? On an 8 lug, you have a cross and then an X, okay? That's your every other one. On your 10 lug, it's kind of like your X, but there's an extra, you know, number of them. But you still go every other one when you go around. If you're to fine tune it, okay. But what you do though, when you do get the wrinkles out, remember I said you get the head on there, so then the rods are flush with the rod is flush with the hoop. Use your fingers, get it tight, and then you go around, put your finger in the middle, and get the wrinkles out. Okay. Which I'm going to do here in a minute with the top head. Remember, I have a Remo Emperor on the top head. It is a sharp-looking drum. It looks really good now without the gaskets. All right, but this rain. Screw it. Screw the rain. Screw the rain. Okay, so what I'm going to do. Remember, I have an 83 on mine. I sure like those. So I'm going to go around. I'm going to finger tighten these babies. Oh. There's one missing. Hang on. We're getting rained out. All right. Going around. Now sometimes what happens is you'll get a little bit of a disagreement where one of the rods doesn't really want to go in to where it's flush. So what you do is you just get one of your keys Oh no, these are all flush. So I got them flush, okay? Finger flush, finger tight. Okay. Now get it pretty hard. Okay, so that's finger, okay? Now I grab my Ludwig key, and there I go. Ludwig key in my right hand. Remember the thumb here, the index finger here. So this one's pulling and this one's pushing. I put my head on there, my hand, and I get just the wrinkles out. And if I'm going every one, okay? Just getting the wrinkles out. It's hard to see in this light a little bit. I'm just getting to see I'm going broad. I'm going 1 to 1. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm not skipping yet. Okay. So that sounds like a Pearl export snare. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going around every other one for a minute. To kind of tighten it up, to skip it one. I'm going to go back to then to jump to 1 and then skip. Okay. Remember, I still the bottom head is still loose. So I'm going to the bottom head now. Go around every other one. The brain is very. I'm doing the opposite. I skipped one to go. Okay, so, okay. Now it's slightly muted because of the emperor. Remember we have an emperor on there. I just consulted my radar. It looks like it's going to continue to rain and even harder now. For the love of God, hang on. So I have to figure out a different way to finish this video. We've had to switch the venue because the rain is not stopping. In fact, it's increasing. The rowers keep on rowing. All right, so here we are. I'm putting on, what I have is the DFD top hoop here, 1.6 mil. Putting that baby on, like I started to say before, the throw off at the 9 o'clock position, the butt plate at the 3 o'clock, and the badge therefore more or less is at the 12 noon. Although it is a lug, but anyway. So there I put the Remo so I can read the Remo. If I read the Remo at 12 noon, my throw off's at 9 and my butt plate's at 3. So we're going to throw that on there. You knew. That cat is nuts. All right, here we go. So let me I have a lot of shite in here. Okay. So I'm going to now just get the head. Okay, I'm gonna get this baby on. So what I do is I put the rods in the hole and just screw them finger tight. And just get them in there kind of for now. Get them in, get them started. Okay. Once I get them started, then what I do is I will do the finger tight. Again, you get a feeling for that. Again, a lot of the time when you use your drum key and you have your thumb on the top one and you screw your finger on the bottom one, as I've showed you before in this video, twice, you just get a feel for the tension. You just do it. You can use, I know people use clean bots and stuff, and that's quite a bit after my time. And I just really, to me, always just do it by feel here, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around, and I'm going to make sure that was done. The eyelets are lined up with the lug. I'm going around and just finger tightening, okay? Just real tight. I mean, if it gets what I say, if you feel a lot of resistance, you kind of can't go anymore. That's when you know when you're done. You know? Okay? And I go across. And across. And across. across. Okay, it's right directly across. Finger tight. Okay, there we go. That's it. We can't turn it anymore. All right. So that sounds like shite because it's not at all tightened. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my drum key. Which I've left out here in the rain. And what I do, as I've said a billion times, is I put my finger, I hold down the middle here, and I just get the wrinkles out, right? The wrinkles out. The wrinkles going away at each lug point. As you go out, almost 2 turns. Okay? Alright, so I give it a little tricky trick. One of those. And what you do is, again, remember how I said in every, in the 6 lug, you have the Star of David. You have 3 points and then 3 opposite points. In 8, you have a cross and then the X. In the 5 or the 10, you have 5 and 5 just off each other. So you'll find that one of the 5 is usually tighter than the other ones. So those are the same tension. I just went around that, remember that feel, my thumb here on this part of the key. And this is you get this relationship right here. You get used to that feeling. Okay, so now I'm going to do the opposite. Wait, hang on, I'm going to do the opposite. Get it up there a little bit. The opposite. And hang on, that's the nut. I'm still doing the opposite. And I'm still doing now I'm skipping just 1, and then making sure this group of 5 feels about the same tension as the other group of 5. This one needs a little more here. Okay. All right. So let's see how it sounds. About a 4th. So now what I'm going to do is a little juicy on the bottom. You use this paper towel to just get the moisture off. Again, the bottom of my head I have here is an Evans Hazy 300. I like those heads. I don't know why they call them hazy. They're not truly hazy. So what I'm going to do is, before I said I had a set of Gibraltar hoops, not hoops, snares. But I actually have a set of Ludwig. Okay, this is a modern set of Ludwig. Came off a drum. It came off. I think I don't know. I can't remember. Maybe I bought them. I don't know. A la carte. I can't recall. So what I have here is, again, my vintage. This is the replacement, authentic replacement brown snare cord for your Ludwig drums of late 50s up to probably the early 80s. There were some that were a little darker, generally. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this on, okay? Now I am using cord on both sides. I know people like to use those plastic strips. You're absolutely welcome to. But I'm going to use the cord, okay? So I slide the cord. This is in the butt plate, this new late model butt plate. Slide it down in there. And the other one. So what I do is I kind of situate the butt plate tensions, as far as this cord's concerned first. Okay? What I do is I sort of position the snare wires about a 1/4 of an inch above, perfectly parallel to that. And then I'll tighten them. So now with my fingers, now that I have that cord going through the hoop slot and then down into the butt plate, I'm going to tighten it about finger tight with my fingers. because that'll more or less hold it for a little while I rotate and get. What I could do here, it's sometimes easier here, and I got a P83 here, as I said before, is you can take off, you can remove the slide. Which is sometimes a little easier. If you take off, you can do it with the P85, this guy, see this? This is the P83 version. Remember, it's the modern lug. These are what came out in the standards. These are so great. Exact same as the other ones. So, what I do is make sure that the ends of the cord go through the hoop slot. And now what I do is I pick a hole. I gotta get my glasses. I'm as blind as a bat. I'm telling you, it's crazy. I hate being as blind as a bat. You get older and you're as blind as a bat. Where are my glasses? Nothing. I'll pretend like I'm not blind as a bat. What you do is you go in, pick a hole. It must be packaged on the push. Oh, you know what I did? What I didn't do? I did not. Let me use this cord. Because you have to cauterize it. When I sell this, I cauterize. You got to cauterize the end. This is cauterized. Meaning that it gets hard at the end. You can go through the holes a lot easier. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Part normally doesn't take this long. All right, through the slot. So what I do is I grab this guy, the slide, and I slide this guy through this. I'm going to use the furthest hole in the first row, and the one all the way to the left. And I'm going to use the hole all the way to the right in the first row. And I'm going to do now the string is through the holes. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start to get this kind of on the knob into the hole. Okay? So what I now do is I see kind of the distance here when I'm sort of pulling on it with the two ends of the string. Two ends of the string I'm pulling on it, see where it is? Versus this end, okay? So I'm gonna pull this. This is a bigger space here than here. So I'm just gonna loosen these again that I finger tightened. And pull it just a little toward me. Finger tighten it again. Swing it back around to the P83 or your throw off side and pull it tight, okay? Now what I do here is I do have this guy in there a little bit. It's screwed in there, but what I do is see the lever. You can leave the lever up and this with barely screwed in and then tighten this, or you can screw it a little further and then leave the lever down so it's sort of close, okay? What I'm going to do right now is just tighten it as it is. The lever is in its locked position. So you tie it like your gym shoes, like the first chunk in your gym shoes, then you do the opposite one. Do the opposite way. I forget what that knot is called. It's called something. Oh, like that. So there it is. Okay? So I'm going to undo it and I'm just going to tighten. Tighten. Sometimes you have to play with it a little. Like I'm going to have to play with this a little. You're tightening it and you get the almost. Now I'm tightening the knob here. Still tighten the hand. Tightening it. Yeah. Oh, we're getting there. Okay, so that sounds kind of Pearl exporty. So bear with me here. Still not tight enough. You want to strut like a guitar chord, and if the thing moves it all left to right, you don't want that. And still tighten it a little more. Okay, here we go. This is about it. It's about where we want it. Okay, so going around tapping. So what I'm going to do is then go to the bottom. Oh wait, hang on. What I really need to do first, make sure I have this tight. I'm going to finger loosen this again. Hang on, time out. I need to make sure that these two strings are perfectly right halfway through the butt plate. Like right, see how it's like right midsection-y through that butt plate? See how that it's like perfectly like symmetrical? Do that. And tighten it up with the key. Okay, there it goes. So here we go. So what I'm going to do, right in the bottom just a little bit. I'm going to go around, remember, with my thumb and my screw finger, like so, and just feel a little bit. And just kind of feel each one. Feel, oh, this one's loose. Just feel. Remember, it really is about a feel. The more you do it, you just get used to it. Still, hang on. Look at that one. Now the snare wires are a little loose. Tighten them up again. See that? It's like a guitar strings. These stay the same. It doesn't move left. There's no. There you go. So what I'm going to do is engage the tone control that I just installed. The whole point this in this video. Okay. But just kind of touching it. It doesn't. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get a stick. Hang on. I got to get the top head needs to come up. Remember, I have a standard Remo Emperor on here. Looks like this is the opposite one. These are tight. The opposite 5 are pretty tight. Okay, so I'll do the other 5. So what I'm going to do, since this is a new head, what you do, remember I said this is a new Emperor head, you go like this a little bit. Like a little CPR. Just kind of, just a little bit. Okay? Now, unfortunately, I don't have a snare stand here. But what I can do, just get the tone. That's the tone, that's the tightness you want of the top head for Bonham, okay? Blah, blah. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Let me just go to the bottom. Boom, boom, nah, boom, nah. Tighten the bottom up. Do that 5, now the other 5. I'm doing about a third of a full turn. Engage the snares, put it right back over. That's where we are. Believe it or not, in Bonneville, that's it. Yeah, that's it. So that's where we want to be. So gauge the tone control a little harder. That's it. That's where you want to be. Okay, let's get a picture of that guy. There it is. Hang on. Yes. Hang on. Uh-oh. Batman. Batman kapow. Look at that. Here we go. That's it. Okay. That's what we got. My P83. My Neo small badge. They have these, the small brass 60s badge. It has a chrome steel grommet. It'd be nice if it's the same color as the badge. The modern butt plate, I forget what they call that. And then the tone control I just installed. Okay, so here it is. That's a great sounding drum. Gotta love the LM402. Okay, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Bonzolium. Remember, shoot me an email at bonzolium@gmail.com. If you have any questions about drums or maybe Bonham-y stuff, I do have some merchandise. I have t-shirts, a few coffee mugs left, and then my Bonzolium 2A drumsticks. So bonzolium@gmail.com. Contact me, we can talk about that. Don't forget PFOZ, People's Front of Zeppelin, here on YouTube. George, Yvonne, Pete, and Ty, they're killing it. You got to go over there right now. PFOZ. Check, open up a parallel window and go over there. Okay? More videos on the way now. I got this baby all set up. And don't forget, if you can, check out the June issue of Modern Drummer. The June issue of Modern Drummer, I was featured. I had like 3 pages in there. Wow. Yeah. Swing. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Till next video. Keep drumming, be happy, and be happy and healthy, okay? Thank you.